Hey everyone, and welcome to Cooking Companion TV. I'm Jenna Edwards, and this is a recipe demo of monkey bread, also known as pull-apart bread. I used the recipe from self-proclaimedfoodie.com, but this is something I grew up with. Like the Southern caramel cake, it's something you'd see at a special occasion or something with a lot of people because it's so rich. So, give this video a thumbs up if you like it, and let's get right to it. Combine 1 cup of sugar with 2 teaspoons of cinnamon and a healthy pinch of cardamom if you're fancy, and stir it together. We'll use 24 ounces of pre-made biscuits in those pop-up cans. So I used 3 cans for the whole recipe. That's about 24 ounces. And I cut them up into small pieces. I started with cutting them into quarters for the base, but I'm also making this in a loaf pan and a few really small loaf pans. So smaller pieces will give more of this pull-apart effect. So I cut them into 8s later on. Now roll the biscuit pieces in the sugar. Before you place them in the pan, give the pan a good slathering of butter. Normally you'd use a bundt pan and you'd flip it upside down to serve, but a loaf pan doesn't give that same effect. So I'm lining my pan with parchment paper so I can just pull it out and serve it the way it's baked without having to flip it. And so I'm just buttering the edges where I don't have parchment paper. In a bundt pan, all the pieces would go in one place. But I am dividing this into multiple pans, so I have to manage my pieces to ensure I layer them evenly. So I'll lay my foundation, if you will, first in each pan, and then I cut up more biscuits into those smaller pieces and made them my top layer. Even in a bundt pan, you'll only have 2 layers. The pieces will rise, so while it looks shallow, it will grow. So here's all my pans. I'm baking the big one now, and the others will go into the freezer to have for later, you know. You'll notice that the biscuit balls are squeezed in there. They're not snug. They're not stuffed in like sardines. They're not cramped. Now we make the really sinful part. Take half a cup of that sugar and cinnamon mixture that you rolled the biscuits in and stir that together with half a cup of brown sugar and dissolve it into 1 cup of melted butter, which is 2 glorious sticks. This is medium-high heat, and we want the butter to come to a slight boil to ensure the sugar really dissolves. And now we pour it over our biscuits. Again, if you're using multiple pans, you'll need to be smart about managing the butter evenly amongst all of your pans. It won't really sink in because the butter is so thick. But in the oven, I think it will thin out more and it'll find its way around all those nooks and crannies. It basically acts like a light glue holding everything together. So if you use too little butter, your sculpture could fall apart. On that note, I took the extra step of brushing the butter over any dry spots and into dry crevices just to be careful. And now we bake at 350 degrees for 30 minutes, or until a thermometer reads 190 degrees. Definitely use the thermometer. I checked mine at 30 minutes and it had like 10 more degrees to go. So I put it in for about another 10 minutes, which was perfect. My loaf pan is ceramic, so it's understandable that the middle of the pan, the middle of the dough, took longer to cook. And this is our beautiful monkey bread when it's done. You need to let it cool in the pan for at least 5 minutes. 20 is probably safest. The butter will cool, becoming that gooey glue that keeps it from all falling apart immediately, but it's not sticky, believe it or not. And then plate it. If you don't finish it in one sitting, and heaven help your arteries if you do, it doesn't dry out. It's definitely fine the next day. By the way, I attempted this recipe with biscuit dough made from scratch. It was just unnecessary extra work. There's enough going on here, and making your own biscuits will exhaust you, and I can't say that it really made the dish that much better. Now, if you wanted to be a real show-off, you'd use croissant dough, like Winner in New York City. That's what prompted me to reach back into my childhood and resurrect this puppy. They make monkey bread with croissant dough, and it is so impressive. That is it for this demo of monkey bread. Get the ingredient list below or at cookingcompaniontv.com/monkeybread. Give this video a thumbs up if you like it and subscribe to this channel for more demos just like this. I'm Jenna Edwards, and thanks for watching.